to you in turn. So, who's got the first question? Don't be shy.
Where, Brian, do you think you're up to now? You've been here a couple of months now. How do you think we're doing, and how are you looking forward?
Where are we up to? I think. Well, I think after a very initial burst, which sort of surprised me to the point of thinking, oh, hang on, we're going to be all right here very quickly. I think the realisation set in that, quite honestly, at the moment, we're just not good enough. I think that seems to be the bottom line. And I think if we pretend that it's anything different, I think the players are better than they're producing on the field of play at this moment in time. But they do need, I think, where we are up to is saying they need some new people in there to help out. I think my analysis would be, there's quite a hefty chunk of the group of players, the professional staff who've probably been there for the 3 seasons that my mind sort of... I did a quick stat track back of say the last 3 seasons where they finished bottom, nearly bottom, and now we're at the bottom again sort of thing. And there's so many of them being involved in that very short period. Some have been involved longer than that as well. I think at the moment it's to use. There's all sorts of analogies you can use. They're like the sponge that's now sort of full up, and it needs squeezing out somewhere. They can't take any more in. I feel we've got some very good players who can't give what they've got based on. It just isn't right. The mix isn't right. You have times, and I've been in football a long time, like Martin, where you think you've got good players, but for whatever reason it's not gelling together. I think we need some new players into the football club, and basically that's where we're at, trying to bring some new faces in. Our big problem is, as you can well imagine, the position we're in the league, and it's not just the football player who doesn't want to come. Sometimes his agent won't let him come, which is one of the problems we have. We have had an awful lot of help from quite a few people. I've been telling a couple of guys over there that, last week we got a call off Mick McCarthy, who was doing the pro license with Martin, who's a good friend of his. He invited me to come to watch his game and said, look, come and watch my reserve team play and pick out 3, and if I can, I'll talk to them to come over here. I did just that, didn't I? Mick was brilliant. He said, right, him and him, I'll speak to him in the morning. But the players wouldn't come. And that is one of the problems you have. We're working our tails off, working our socks off. We need new players. The sort of players we want, quite honestly, aren't quite prepared to go stuck into the current situation. So we are finding it's a challenge to bring people in, isn't it? It's a challenge, but it's a challenge that we're reveling in at the moment. We haven't really sat down for the last sort of week and a half on the phone type of thing. And the present situation is exactly as you see it. It doesn't lie. We're bottom of the table. Why are we bottom of the table? We probably should have had 3 or 4 points more than we've got at this moment in time. But that's realistic opinion, I think, at the moment. We go out, and most games we play, we are going to concede a goal, and not a very good goal neither. Concentration levels aren't great. The mix isn't quite right. We need to stir it up a little bit. We need to get a little bit of a roll going, and for that I feel we need 1 or 2 more new faces in the football. Period.